Hello, lovely students, and welcome to the Ultimate C1 video. Today, I'm going to teach you advanced C1 level vocabulary and a little bit of grammar too. What's the logic behind this video? Well, when you're at a C1 level, you should be able to express yourself with precision and talk in detail about many subjects. You should also be able to speak fairly fluently without too many pauses while you search for the exact words and expressions needed to communicate your thoughts. This means that you need to know a lot of vocabulary. Luckily, the C1 level is my absolute favorite to teach. There's so much nuance, so much art to the language. In fact, my most popular course of all time is my beautiful British English C1 program. Over 5,000 students have taken my C1 program, and they have learned so much advanced vocabulary, as well as C1 grammatical structures, advanced features of pronunciation, how to write different texts at an advanced level, and so much more. Students love the storyline that runs through the entire program and the authentic conversations between me and some of the special people in my life. Take a look at some of the lovely things my graduates have had to say. I would love for you to join them and try this program. I can guarantee it will boost your English skills in so many ways. We are going to go through 4 C1 vocabulary videos, and then we're going to end with a special A1 to C1 challenge video to help you test your level. First up, you're going to learn 20 advanced verbs that will help you express yourself at a C1 or even C2 level. We go from advocate to scrutinize, all in just 10 minutes. Are you ready? Hello, lovely students, and welcome back to Learn English with Listening. Today, we are going to talk about advanced English. Our focus today is on advanced C1C 2 level verbs. If you incorporate these verbs into your daily spoken English, you will impress people, especially if you say them in a very natural, nonchalant way. Right. Let's get started with the advanced English verbs. Number 1, to advocate means to publicly support or recommend a particular policy or action. Example: the celebrity uses her social media platform to advocate for a more sustainable future. Or, the politician advocated for greater economic equality for all citizens. Number 2, to amplify. To amplify means to make something louder or stronger, to increase the effect or impact of something. Example: the megaphone amplifies the speaker's voice, making it easier to hear. Or, the digital marketing campaign amplified the reach and impact of the brand's message. Number 19, to reconcile, careful with the pronunciation, is typically used passively. It means to make people become friends again after a breakup or an argument. It can also mean finding an acceptable way of dealing with two ideas or concepts that seem opposed to each other, making two conflicting things compatible or consistent. The mediator is trying to reconcile the differences between the two parties. or the couple reconciled after a period of separation. And finally, to scrutinize. To scrutinize means to examine or inspect something very closely and thoroughly, combing through for potential mistakes. For example, his apology was carefully scrutinized by his PR team before it was released to the public. Or, she scrutinized his essay but couldn't find a single error. Right? Those were your 20 incredibly advanced English verbs. As I mentioned, they are C1 to C2 level. Okay, what did you think of that? Those advanced verbs really help you articulate your ideas precisely. Ah, I used articulate just now. In that lesson, you saw 20 advanced verbs, which is quite a lot. But if you want to achieve a C1 level in English, you need to learn many more. And that is where my beautiful British English C1 program comes in. In the program, there are so many verbs, including tons of phrasal verbs, that by the end, my students have an enormous bank of vocabulary to draw from. You'll find super advanced verbs like gazump and to shell out. Hello, lovely students, and welcome back to Learn English with Listening. I have a beautiful video for you today. I have chosen 20 of my favorite adjectives. They are all really advanced adjectives, and I would place them at a C1 to C2 level. You're not going to hear them every day on the streets of England, but you will see them in texts and books, and you will hear them used by very well-spoken people. If you want to become a well-spoken person, then consider learning them and incorporating them into your speech. I am a self-diagnosed logophile, meaning I love words and learning new, beautiful words. I'm passing on that gift to you. Let's get started with the lesson. Number 1, ambivalent. Ambivalent means having or showing mixed feelings or contradictory ideas about something or someone. For example, I feel ambivalent about accepting the job offer because it pays well, but the work is not interesting. Or, she has ambivalent feelings toward her ex-husband, both loving and hating him. Number 2, capricious, which I find particularly beautiful, means given to sudden and unaccountable changes of mood or behavior. His capricious behavior made it difficult for his friends to keep up with his moods. Or, the weather is capricious this time of year, with sunny days followed by sudden rain showers. Number 3, derogatory. Derogatory means showing a critical or disrespectful attitude towards someone or something. His derogatory comments about women angered many people, or the newspaper received complaints about a derogatory article they published about a minority group. Number 4, esoteric, not a common one, but very beautiful. It's pronounced in 2 ways. In British English, the most common is esoteric, though you'll also hear esoteric. It means intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number of people with specialized knowledge or interest. The lecture on quantum mechanics was esoteric and difficult for most students to understand. Or, the chef's recipes are esoteric and require knowledge of specific techniques and ingredients. Number 5, flippant means not showing a serious or respectful attitude. I like to remember it by imagining a teenager flipping their hair and not taking something seriously. They're being flippant. The politician's flippant comments about the pandemic angered many people, or your flippant attitude toward your studies led to these poor grades. Next, resplendent is often used with or in. It means attractive and impressive through being richly colorful. The sunset over the ocean was resplendent with colors of orange and pink, or she was resplendent in white and gold. She walked down the aisle on the arm of her father. Do you see how we used it, both with and in? Next, love this one. I know I say that about everyone, but I just genuinely love these words. Subservient. This means prepared to obey others without question, unquestioningly. It's often used in a negative way because if someone is subservient, they are often easily exploited. For example, the assistant's subservient attitude towards her boss led to exploitation, or Gloria refused to give up her career and accept a traditionally subservient role. Next, we have supercilious. Supercilious. That one's so fun to say. If you're supercilious, you behave or look as though you think you are superior to others. His supercilious demeanor towards his audience was met with disapproval. Or, her writing often has a supercilious tone, which makes it hard to connect with. Tenacious. Do you remember the band Tenacious D? They recognized it as a great word, and a great word it is. Tenacious means keeping or tending to keep a firm hold on something, or not giving up easily, or being really determined. Her tenacious grip on the rope allowed her to climb the steep cliff, or, although he experienced many setbacks, he remained tenacious in his pursuit of becoming an MP. Next, don't be fooled by the first letter U. We pronounce it with a Y sound, ubiquitous. Ubiquitous means very common or found everywhere. Smartphones have become ubiquitous in modern society. Or, the company's logo was ubiquitous on billboards throughout the city. Very common. Now we have vicarious. Although in American English, they're more inclined to say vicarious. In British English, it's vicarious. This one we use in front of a noun, and it means experienced in the imagination through the feelings or actions of another person. You'll often hear us saying, I'm living vicariously through you, or I'm living through your experiences. He experienced a sense of vicarious nostalgia when he listened to his parents' stories about their youth, or watching action films allows people to experience vicarious thrills and excitement through other people. Right, that's it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. Well, Did you like the sound of one of my favorite words in that video? Capricious. Capricious. It's such an exquisite word. Some of those adjectives were really advanced, and they are guaranteed to help set you on the path towards achieving an advanced level in English. A huge part of being at C1 is having the ability to produce clear and detailed descriptions, so adjectives are crucial. But 20 adjectives aren't enough. You'll need many more. You can find them in my beautiful British English C1 program. A lot of the words in there really are stunning, like whimsical and palpable. They sound so nice. Next, we're going to learn how to describe physical appearance in advanced English. Say goodbye to he is tall and say hello to he's a bit lanky. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, lovely students, and welcome back to Learn English with Listening. In today's video, we're going to talk about appearance, but we're going to go way beyond the phrases you learn when you first start studying English. You know, I have blonde hair and blue eyes. Instead, we're going to learn how to talk about appearance at a super advanced level using C1 and even C2 level words and phrases. Basically, we're going to talk about appearance on steroids, not literally. All right, so let's talk about appearance. I'm going to talk to you about my journey with my appearance, starting from childhood and then moving on to how I might look in the future. Yikes. Let's start with childhood. I have nearly always had long hair, and my cascade of blonde hair made me look quite angelic when I was little. But a quick chat with my parents would soon dispel that misconception. My brother was adorable. All children are cute. He had these gorgeous dimples that people teased him about sometimes, but I always adored them. Okay, there are two words I want to pick out here. Firstly, we have angelic. Angelic means like an angel, angel-like. We can use it to describe appearance, but also personality. If you're beautiful, or if you're good, or if you're kind, Allie had an angelic smile, and no one could stay angry with her for long. The second word is dimple. Dimple is such a cute word. A dimple is a small crease or indentation next to your mouth, normally here or on your chin. Whenever she smiled, her dimples would appear, making her look even more charming. Now, let's move on to the teenage years. Like most people, my appearance was quite important to me back then. One of the first things I did when I turned 13 was grab a pair of tweezers and pluck my eyebrows into submission. I regret it so much. I also used to compare myself to my friends a lot, and one of the sticking points was my complexion. As you can see, I'm pretty pale, ghostly more like. And I used to be so jealous of my friends who would come back after the summer holidays totally sun-kissed. I've always been a bit, shall we say, vertically challenged, which never really bothered me. On the other hand, my husband Will was very lanky when he was a teenager, but he's filled out now. All right, a little bit more vocabulary then. Firstly, tweezers. These are tiny tongs, the tool you use for grasping and removing small objects, such as splinters or hairs. Alex used tweezers to remove a thorn from his finger. Next, the verb that goes with tweezers, to pluck. You can say to tweeze, but to pluck is more common. This means to pull out hairs with tweezers or your fingers. We also pluck a string when we play the violin. We strum a guitar, but we pluck a single string on a harp too. Jules plucked her eyebrows every week to maintain a neat appearance. Another word I really like is complexion. Complexion refers to the natural color, texture, and appearance of your skin, especially your face. For example, lots of English people have quite a pale complexion and burn badly in the sun. Then we have the fairly slang adjective sun-kissed. Sun-kissed basically means tanned. It means kissed by the sun. When you're tanned, you have a browner skin color because of sun exposure. Jane looked like a vision with her summer dress and sun-kissed skin. Number 11 is windswept. Windswept means looking like you've been in strong wind, and we often use it to talk about hair. An example, you look a bit windswept. Have you been outside in the storm? Number 12, I love this word, scruffy. Scruffy means untidy or dirty in appearance. When I walk my dog, I put on my scruffiest clothes because I know they're going to get muddy. Next, we have a lovely phrase, to scrub up well. To scrub up well means to look nice when you make an effort. I grew up in a really rural area in England, and most of my friends were farmers. So 99% of the time, they were in dirty jeans, t-shirts, and had windswept hair. However, we loved a party, and when we had a party, we would dress up to the nines, wearing our most elegant clothes. The most common phrase I would hear when we saw each other in nice clothes was, "Wow, you scrub up well, don't you?" It means you look nice when you make an effort and actually wear nice things. For example, Pete is usually in shorts and a t-shirt, but he scrubs up well on special occasions. The final word from that section is posture. Posture means the position in which you hold your body, particularly your neck, shoulders, and back, when standing or sitting. Grace used to be a dancer, so she has wonderful posture. Notice how I pronounce it? Posture. That's because a T and a Y sound together make a CH sound, like in Tuesday and tuna. Now, onto the scariest part of this lesson, the future. Looking far into the future, I can clearly visualize myself and Will. Will's salt and pepper hair will be popping, and my hair will be all white. We'll have a lot more wrinkles, and there will be crow's feet around our eyes. But I plan to embrace them. They tell the story of a lifetime of smiles and laughter. And yes, there will be frown lines from when our children do something naughty and stress us out. Finally, 3 words and phrases to pick out from that text. Firstly, salt and pepper. And I'm not talking about seasoning. We often use it to describe hair that has two colors mixed together, one dark and one light, often white and black. You will sometimes hear people say pepper and salt hair, but salt and pepper is the more common order. For example, Bill's salt and pepper beard gave him a distinguished appearance. Next, we have wrinkle. This is a slightly lower level word, but just in case you need it, a wrinkle is a small line on the skin, often caused by aging. For example, there were fine wrinkles across his forehead that showed the passing years. And finally, we have crow's feet. You know what a crow's foot looks like, right? It's like a little triangle with prongs. We imagine that a crow has kicked us in the face, and we have crow's feet here, the small lines around the corners of your eyes, caused by aging but mostly by laughter and smiling. Lots of people call them laughter lines. For example, Liba's crow's feet were evidence of a life filled with laughter and joy. All right, that's everything for this video on describing appearance, more or less at a C1 level. At higher levels, it's hard to say exactly which word belongs to what level, but in general, this was fairly advanced. Now I have some homework for you. I'd like you to describe your appearance, or if you don't want to describe yourself, the appearance of a celebrity or someone you adore. Try to use some of this vocabulary if you can, and bring in other, more advanced words and phrases. I'll be looking at as many as I can. I'd also love to know if you've experienced a similar journey with your appearance. How many of you can relate to looking a bit unkempt in the mornings or evenings or at any time of day? So, there were a lot of words describing appearance in that video, but what about personality? After all, it's what's on the inside that counts. In my C1 program, we go into great detail on the topic of describing character. You'll learn when to describe someone as a wallflower, or whether inquisitive is a positive or negative characteristic. You know the drill by now. The link's in the description box if you want to join. Okay, on to the next vocabulary lesson. In this lesson, you're going to learn 21 advanced phrases to talk about lifestyle and well-being, people, and work. Are you ready? Hello, lovely students, and welcome back to Learn English with Listening. Today, we're focusing on an advanced level of English. This is a C1 level vocabulary lesson, and we're going to dive into 21 advanced English words and phrases that will significantly elevate your level of proficiency. The words and phrases are divided into three topics: lifestyle and well-being, people, and work. I'll give you a short quiz after each section to check if you remember what you've learned. Let's start with lifestyle and well-being. Firstly, we have at face value. At face value means accepting something as it appears to be without questioning its true nature or authenticity. For example, you shouldn't take everything you read about nutrition at face value. Always verify that the information is from reliable sources. Next, we have to have a crack at something. This means to attempt or try something, often for the first time or with great enthusiasm. For example, even though she had never tried rock climbing before, Tara decided to have a crack at it during the team building event. Another nice phrase is to burn the midnight oil. This means to study or work late into the night to complete a task, prepare for something, or meet a deadline. For example, with exams approaching, Sarah found herself burning the midnight oil to cover all the required material. We also have to strike a balance. This means to find a compromise or middle ground between two competing factors. For example, it's essential to strike a balance between work and leisure for a healthy lifestyle. Another phrase, to let off steam, means to say or do something that helps you release anger or frustration. For example, I was so furious that I had to go for a walk around the block to let off steam. Another lovely phrase is to count one's blessings. This means to make an effort to be grateful for the good things in your life. For example, when I'm feeling down, I try to remember to count my blessings and be grateful for what I have. Sometimes we use it sarcastically if someone is being ungrateful. We might say, count your blessings. There are people worse off than you. The final one in our lifestyle and well being section is to bloom. This is often associated with flowers, but when a person blooms, they become healthy, happy, and confident. For example, Carl bloomed during his 6-week holiday in the countryside, thanks to the fresh air and healthy food. First break, first quiz. What can you remember from what I just taught you? Firstly, which word is missing from this sentence? I'm going to have a arhiarko at kayaking today. I'm nervous, but I'm sure it will be fun. I'll give you 5 seconds. It's crack. Well done. Okay, next, if I'm really angry and go for a run to calm down, what am I doing? Am I A, letting off steam, or B, letting out a scream? It's A, letting off steam, although letting out a scream would work too. Lastly, which of the words I just taught you means to develop healthily and happily? It was bloom. Well done if you got it right. Moving on to talking about people, first we have to stick one's neck out. This means to take a risk or expose yourself to possible criticism or danger by doing or saying something. For example, despite the controversy surrounding the issue, Jane decided to stick her neck out and support the new policy. Another term is a knee-jerk reaction. A knee-jerk reaction is an immediate, automatic response to a situation, often without careful consideration. For example, when we heard about the increase in crime rates, our knee-jerk reaction was to insist on more police patrols in the area. Another phrase is to split hairs. This means to argue or worry about very small, unimportant details or differences. For example, sometimes I feel like my husband splits hairs over insignificant matters, and it leads to unnecessary arguments. Another relevant phrase is pecking order. Pecking order is a social hierarchy in a group where everyone is aware of the levels of importance. For example, there's a clear pecking order in their group of friends, with Sally at the top. Now, the next three words are adjectives used to describe people. And the first one is shrewd. Shrewd. And this describes someone who is good at understanding and making judgments about situations. They're often quite good at taking the emotion out. A shrewd person is able to make decisions that will give them an advantage. For example, CLA was a shrewd business person, and she made several wise investment decisions when she was still young. Next, number 13, we have obstinate. Obstinate, and notice how I pronounce it with a schwa at the end. Obstinate, not obstinate. This means refusing to change your opinion or actions despite people trying to make you do so. We could also say stubborn. In a way, it's often used for children. Henry was a very obstinate teenager, and he consistently refused to admit that he might be wrong about something. An extra little Liba's note here. I've seen some students mix up obstinate with another advanced adjective, abstinent. Abstinent, it might be the combination of T's and N's, but abstinent has an entirely different meaning. It means to refrain from indulging in a particular behavior. This is often related to vices or bad habits. You abstain from doing something. Our final word in this topic is placid. Placid with the S sound, the soft C. We use placid to describe someone who's very calm and isn't easily excited or annoyed. Despite the hullabaloo around her, Allie remained placid and continued with her work. It's quiz time. It's quiz time. Can you answer these three questions? I'm going to give you 5 seconds to answer each one. Firstly, which word is missing? My neat reaction to hearing my son had been arrested was to be utterly livid. Jar, jam, jet, or jerk? It's jerk. Excellent job if you got that right. Number 2, sometimes it's best to keep your opinions to yourself and not your out. Is it stick your head, stack your neck, stick your neck, or stuck your nose? Have a think. Stick your neck out. Don't stick your neck out, or they'll chop your head off. And the third one, which words that I just taught you are synonyms for these words? Calm and stubborn. Which 2 words are synonyms? Placid, obstinate. Bonus points if you got the pronunciation right of obstinate. Okay, let's move on to our last section. It is work. And our first phrase is to pull some strings. To pull some strings means to use your influence or connections, often secretly or unofficially, to achieve a desired outcome. By pulling some strings, Tom was able to get his sister a prestigious position at a London-based accounting firm. The next one is to have a field day. To have a field day means to take advantage of a situation, typically for personal benefit and often at the expense of others. For example, when the news of the scandal broke, tabloid journalists had a field day writing sensational stories. Next, we have to be privy to. To be privy, and note that pronunciation, not privy, privy. This means to have access to or knowledge of secret or confidential information. The CEO's assistant is privy to all the important decisions in the company. Another one I use quite a lot is on the back burner. If something is on the back burner, it's low priority and it's not being dealt with at the present moment. Let's put this project on the back burner and focus on more pressing matters. Ever I'm really busy, I put lots of things on the back burner. Next, we have an adjective, cushy, cushy. I wonder if you can guess what it means. It's very similar to another word, cushion. If something is cushy, it means it's very easy, requiring little effort, comfortable. Sometimes people say cushy as well. This is slang, but we use it in professional situations. Ellen got a cushy job that pays well, but allows her lots of free time. Number 20 is a fantastic idiom. To get your foot in the door. To get your foot in the door means to enter a company or organization at a low level with a chance of being promoted or being more successful in the future. Lena got her foot in the door as an intern, but she worked her way up to department head in just a few years. And my final phrase for you is to go belly up. To go belly up, and we use this to talk about companies. It means to fail completely and to have to close. The business went belly up after just a year of trading. Okay, it is that time again. Quiz time. Which word is missing? I managed to get my upper Tarkog in the door at an amazing company earlier in my career, and I've worked my way up to management level. Head, foot, leg, or hand. Foot. You get your foot in the door. Number 2, you know the Prime Minister, right? Can you pull some out of Dargao and get me an interview with her? Is it strikes, strides, streams, or strings? That's right. We pull some strings. And finally, if a job is very easy and doesn't require much effort, how can we describe it? Cushy. Or if you said cushy, I'll let you have that one too. Okay, that's everything from me today. I really hope you enjoyed learning these 21 advanced words and phrases in English. There were some amazing phrases in there that you can use in so many contexts. But as you know, 21 phrases aren't enough to get you to an advanced level. What can help you achieve that? You guessed it, the C1 program. It is jam-packed with advanced phrases like a glutton for punishment and to scare the living daylights out of someone. All of the information is in the link down below. Right, we finished the vocabulary section of this video. Now I've created a challenge with 20 questions ranging from A1 to C1 level, so you can check whereabouts you are in terms of your English level. This is not a dedicated level test. It's a fun challenge for you to see how far you can get through the CFR levels. Are you ready? Let's go! Hello, lovely students, and welcome back to Learn English with Listening. Today, I have a challenge for you. I'm going to ask you 12 questions. 4 at A1 or A2 beginner level, 4 at B1, B2 intermediate level, and 4 at C1, C2 advanced level. Answer as many questions as you can and see how far you can go. After each question, I will explain the answer meaning. This video contains 12 mini lessons. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to answer each question, but you will probably need more time, so use the pause button. Please keep count of your score and share it with me in the comment section when you're finished. Let's start with beginner level questions. Number 1, choose the correct option to fill in. This gap, there aren't books on the table. Is it A, some, or B, any? I'll give you 5 seconds. The answer is any. There aren't any books on the table. We usually use any in negative sentences with plural or uncountable nouns. Okay, let's do question 2. Fill in the gaps to create a question in the present simple tense. I want you to use the verb to like. He, stubborn, olives. 5 seconds? Okay, here's the answer. Does he like olives? Did you get that? To make yes, no questions in the present simple,